Welcome to part 2 of our look at the Bob Watson archive at the Stephen Joseph Theatre. I'm Alan Ayckbourn's archivist, Simon Murgatroyd, and I also maintain the Bob Watson archive, which we're looking at a little more closely today. The brunt of the archive is based around the theatre's productions, and each production since 1955 has its own folder containing a mix of programmes, press cuttings, photographs and publicity material. There are now more than 750 folders, which include the single largest collection of photographs relating to Alan Ayckbourn's plays. As I mentioned in the previous video, entrance to the archive is through a small exhibition area which highlights some of the material held in the Bob Watson archive. This includes the head of the alien from Alan Ayckbourn's family play Callisto 5. There's the infamous baked bean tin from Alan's 2003 revival of Way Upstream. The archive also holds the only known photograph of the original Library Theatre Company with Stephen Joseph from 1955. Obviously there are many posters within the collection, and these include the world premiere of The Woman in Black in 1987 before it went on to its hugely successful West End run. There's also Ayckbourn rarities, such as an original poster for the Norman conquests, as well as posters from the early 1990s such as Wildest Dreams and Body Language, which, unusually, count amongst the rarest of all Ayckbourn posters. Pride of place with regard to these is one of the only two original surviving posters for The Square Cat, Alan's first play. The archive also contains Stephen Joseph's desk, which, for such a tall man, has a tiny amount of legroom. These, as you can see, are just some of the treasures held in the Bob Watson archive. So what else does the archive hold? It is limited largely to manuscripts, press cuttings, programmes and posters due to the lack of space and resources, but the manuscript collection is large and goes back to the opening of the Library Theatre. There is a photocopy of the play which opened the Library Theatre on the 14th of July 1955. The archive does not hold an original manuscript for Circle of Love by Eleanor D. Glaser, but to mark the company's 50th anniversary in 2005, the University of Warwick kindly donated a photocopy of the original script held within Eleanor's papers at the university. Omitting Alan Ayckbourn's plays, probably the most famous work to have originated from this company is The Woman in Black. This was adapted by Stephen Malatrat in 1987 from Scarborough author Susan Hill's acclaimed novella. The archive has two original production manuscripts used for the world premiere of the play in the studio at the Stephen Joseph Theatre in the Round in 1987. Given The Woman in Black is now the second longest running play in the West End and has been performed around the world, this is a genuine piece of theatre history. A playwright who has had a particularly strong relationship with the Stephen Joseph Theatre is Tim Firth, whose first play, A Man of Letters, premiered at the studio at the Stephen Joseph Theatre in the Round in 1991 and was followed by the extraordinarily successful Neville's Island, performed in the Round in 1992. This original manuscript is very much a significant piece in the archive and highlights the important connection the theatre has always had with developing new writers. With regard to Alan Ayckbourn, one of the most significant holdings in the collection is the material relating to his work as an actor with the company between 1957 and 1962. This collection is unique to the Bob Watson archive and is not held within the Ayckbourn archive at the Borthwick Institute at the University of York. The theatre holds photographs, programmes, reviews and press cuttings relating to Alan's career as an actor, which encompassed approximately 40 productions in Scarborough. Despite being the formative part of his theatre career, relatively little attention is paid to Alan's acting days, but it informed a lot of what was to follow and, as the archive demonstrates, Alan wrote his early plays to showcase himself as an actor, and there is some rare material relating to these early works which premiered at the Library Theatre. Sadly, the archive does not hold much material in relation to its founder, Stephen Joseph, as the majority of material relating to him is held in his papers at the John Rylands Library at the University of Manchester. However, the Bob Watson archive does hold a substantial number of photographs of Stephen throughout his life, as well as his published works and a scrapbook relating to the early years of the Library Theatre and Studio Theatre Limited, as well as some other interesting ephemera connected to the theatre pioneer who inspired Alan Ayckbourn. The archive also has a collection of posters relating to the entire history of the theatre, and even an exhibition curated by Stephen Joseph himself, which gave an introduction to theatre in the round back when the company first started performing during the 1950s. Actual specific production posters do not start appearing at the theatre until the 1970s, but the collection holds posters from the majority of productions from the late 1970s onwards, and includes some quite rare Ayckbourn World Premiere posters. The archive holds more general press cuttings relating to the theatre since 1955, and also a collection of lobby production photographs from the 1960s to the 2000s. What it doesn't have is recordings of the productions, either audio or visual. During Alan Ayckbourn's tenure as artistic director from 1972 until 2009, he didn't allow recordings, as his view was that the technology wasn't available to do it well, particularly in the round. But more importantly, theatre is a live and transient art form which recordings cannot capture the essence of. Of course, with the impact of COVID and developing technology, times have changed, and the SJT is now recording and streaming many of its own productions, including Alan Ayckbourn's plays, although these are not actually held in the Bob Watson archive at present. So that's a little deeper insight into the Bob Watson archive. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into a little known part of the Stephen Joseph Theatre in Scarborough. The door to the archive is always open when I'm working in there, so please give me a wave when you next visit the SJT. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed the video. Thank you.